Hello guys, we are the members of Finance Club and we are here to discuss about the recent developments in the financial world that happened in 2023. So, I am the moderator of the session. My name is Soumyadeep Das. We have 4 speakers with us. First is Rohit Jain, then we have Meghna, then we have Radhika Rathi, and we have Vani Aggarwal. So, we are here to discuss about the recent major 3 developments. So, coming on the first one, the financial world has been rapidly changing and I came across this term CBDC. So Rohit, can you please elaborate on the topic CBDC?
In simplest term, CBDC, that is central bank digital currency. It is a digital money in lieu of physical currency that is issued by Reserve Bank of India on behalf of Government of India. In India, CBDC is issued of 2 types. First is wholesale CBDC, second is retail CBDC. Wholesale CBDC caters to financial institutions and retail CBDC caters to general public, that is you and me. In India, CBDC launched as a pilot project in November 2022 and in some cities and subsequently expanded to some other cities. Currently, CBDC operates in 26 cities and 13 banks have participated so far.
So Radhika, can you please tell me the objective behind this and how it is different from the other online banking or e-wallet?
Coming to a few facts, in the last year, we have spent over 4,000 crores to print physical cash. And so the primary objective has to be to promote financial inclusion and lead a shift towards a cashless economy. Secondly, it is to beat the tsunami of the cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency is something which operates in a volatile, decentralized landscape. And investors look at it as a way to generate revenue or make some earnings out of it. And secondly, coming to your second question, how is it different? The traditional online transactions happening right now, they actually involve the commercial banks transacting, holding the money on behalf of their customers. So with the CBDC, the transaction is directly between the payer and the payee. So it can potentially make the transactions cheaper, faster, and more efficient.
Okay, so Rohit, I would like to know about the situation in the world regarding the CBDC. So are there any countries who have already launched CBDCs?
Yes, China is one of which China introduced the eCBN, second is Bahamas and third is Nigeria. They have already introduced the CBDC in their own country. US and India are in the active pilot stage of being introduced in the countries. Notably, Asian countries are in the leading phase in comparison to other continents.
Let's talk about the potential impacts on the traditional banks and could CBDCs replace them altogether?
It's an either-or scenario in the sense that CBDC would complement the traditional banking services, and traditional banking services by using CBDC can introduce new products or services. For instance, traditional banking services are strengthening in the areas such as credit evaluation, wealth management, personalized financial advice. So these are the areas where CBDC wouldn't compete directly. Further, the traditional banks would leverage this CBDC and so that they can introduce new products and make the transaction more efficient.
So with this discussion, we can come to a conclusion that CBDCs has the potential to revolutionize the way we manage money, make payments, and deal with the financial system. So moving forward, we have AI. AI is the term which has fascinated all of us during the year. So AI in finance has created a huge impact. So Meghna, can you just give us a brief overview of how AI in finance has impacted the world?
So yeah, that's true that AI is revolutionizing the financial industry. So if we talk about the tradings and investments, so we have algo trading and that is quite common these days, wherein we are just analyzing the patterns and then the trades are being executed with so much precision. And then we have the AI-powered robo-advisors as well. So they are providing the financial advice to the customers, and on that basis, we are getting the recommendations. That's how they're revolutionizing the financial industry in this aspect. Then if we talk about the fraud detection, so that is also being provided by the AI-powered systems. They are just trying to detect the fraudulent activities in advance, and that's how we are trying to minimize the potential losses which can happen in future. And this is one of the key areas as well, because we can just see any deviation from the normal behavior or the normal pattern of the consumer is being detected so early, and that's how we are able to prevent the fraud as well.
Okay, so when we talk about investment and trading, so our term comes upon our mind is risk management. So how can AI help you in risk management?
So yeah, in risk management as well. So AI is helping us because they are actually assigning the risk scores. So they are assigning to the customers for the investment opportunities that are there in the market these days. And there are many factors. For example, the credit history of the customer. And also if we talk about the market conditions, they also play a very major role in this. So that's how they are playing a key role in risk management as well, because they can see how the risk scores are being assigned, and on that basis then the credibility is being judged of the customer. Also this can revolutionize the customer service as well, because we have AI powered chatbots, we have virtual assistants, so they are actually giving the instant responses, and that's how the personalized recommendations are being given, and that's how AI is revolutionizing that industry as well.
Okay. So with big opportunities, we can see big challenges to follow. So Vani, can you just elaborate some of the challenges that would come with AI and how can we address it?
So yeah, there are a lot of challenges that we face when we use AI in finance. The first and the foremost challenge I feel is the protection of data that we use, because the data is very sensitive and it's very crucial for us to use it in a safe and a secure manner. Secondly, I would say that there is a lot of biasness involved when it comes to the decision making using AI. Because as Meghna mentioned, that there is a lot of historical data that is used by decision making. So those decisions can be very much inaccurate when it comes to use of that data. Thirdly, I would say that there are various ethical concerns for the decisions that are made using AI, because they are always not in sync with the ethics that are prevalent in the industry, and because there is no human touch involved to that decisions. And lastly, I would say that there should be an integration between humans and AI, because eventually it is we humans that who have to use that data, and it is important for us to understand it and comprehend it so that it is used in the best possible manner. Also, I feel that there should be a proper balance between the cost and the returns that we expect from the technology, so that we can reap the maximum possible benefits.
Okay, so coming on to the banking sector, so Meghna, can you please elaborate the key drivers of AI disruption in the banking sector?
So yeah, in the banking sector as well, we have big data revolution these days. So what is happening is banks are actually providing the comprehensive 360-degree view. They are just identifying the individual's patterns. They are seeing the social media engagements as well. So that's how the big data revolution is being there in the industry now. And we have the infrastructure revolution. If we talk about the advancements in the cloud computing or the cloud technology, so the large chunk of data is being analyzed, and that also at a very lower cost. So this is one of the area. And lastly, if we think about the competition, so banks are in fierce competition with fintechs these days, and there's this big race of just coming in providing the superior of the services and providing innovative offerings to the consumers. So AI is actually helping a lot in that area as well, because banks are using AI and they are trying to see how to provide the services and tailor it according to the customer's expectations. So yeah, these are some of the areas where banking is also using or inculcating AI.
Right. Okay, so with this discussion, we can conclude that AI has been involved in many different financial sectors and different areas, from banking to investment and other. So I think AI has its own advantages and disadvantages. It is up to the humans how they can use it. So coming on to the next topic, we have all been hearing about this term IPO, so which has been growing in Indian market. So Radhika, my question would be, what is an IPO in layman terms, and can you please throw some lights on?
Okay. So in the financial world, we've all heard the term IPO, initial public offer. So put it forth in the simplest way, when an unlisted company wants to go public, they want to issue capital, issue shares to public and offer it to the public. They make a stock market debut through an IPO when its stocks are listed, its shares are listed for the first time in the stock market. and a previously unlisted company which is owned by private investors now becomes, post an IPO, it becomes a public company which has ownership of institutional investors or individual investors. And now operating in an Indian stock market, of course, it comes with challenges. The first one has to be the volatility. Now, the Indian stock market is highly volatile. So when a company wants to issue an IPO, it can be difficult to predict the optimal window for it. And secondly, the lack of awareness. So it is difficult to educate your potential investors about the business, about what you've been doing. So it is really difficult. For example, companies which are operating in niche markets or a sector which is lesser known to the general public, it can be difficult. People will not even be aware when an IPO is launching. So thirdly, corporate governance. Now, when a company wants to go public, you have to adhere to regulatory requirements. You have to follow accounting standards. There has to be transparency, and so you can attract the investors and you can instill confidence. People will only invest in an IPO when you can see transparently what a company has been doing. And thirdly, since you are in a market, there are macroeconomic factors around you. There are interest rates, inflation rates, and overall economic health, which affects and influences how successful an IPO can be.
So my next question would be to Rohit. So which IPO in recent times have attracted you, means caught your attention, and your thoughts on the recent surge of IPO in Indian market?
So the one is Tata Technologies, a 3,000 crore IPO, and it listed at a 150% premium on the listing day. This is because of the attractive valuation and the brand image of the Tata Group in a whole. Secondly, there are various companies which have recently launched its IPO. The first one is RR Cable, Mama Earth, Mankind Pharma, and how we can forget about the DOMS IPO and which is closing today. The recent surge of IPO can be, there are various reasons. First is the economic recovery. As we can see that the post-pandemic, the Indian GDP is growing at 7.2%. Second is government reforms. The government is launching various schemes. For instance, the production-linked incentive, that is PLI scheme, is launched to boost the manufacturing sectors. Third one is the retail investors. The retail investors are actively participating and investing money in the secondary market and also in the primary market, that is the IPO. And the last one is there are various sectors such as healthcare, consumer goods, and this are performing great in post-pandemic and this year. And all in all, there are various factors which affect the IPO or which affect how the people will be reacting. The first one would be the financial health of the company. Second one is the business model, how the company is operating in its industry, what is the USP of the company in the industry, how it is great or best in comparison to its peers. Third one is the industry dynamic, overall how the industry is performing, and in the sense that if the industry is affected, all the companies in that industry might also be affected. And the last one is the market sentiments.
Yeah. So this brings us to the end of the discussion about IPO. So coming to the end, we discussed three major topics. First was CBDC, then AI in finance, and lastly IPOs. So I would like each one of you to share your point of view about the future of these three topics.
So it's been just a year since its launch in India, and I believe CBDC in the coming years will be useful in useful mode. However, it's all about making right balance between innovation and stability. So by using CBDC, the country can make the micro loans more efficient, more quicker. Secondly, the cross-border payment can be done more quickly and efficiently. And the last one is automated investments. So the possibilities are endless.
So stock prices reflect every piece of new information in the market, and elections are one huge event that the economy, the country, and the people go through. So because of the positive sentiment and the infusion by the retail investors in addition to the institutional investors, the stock markets have been at the Sensex and the Nifty has been at an all-time high. And in my opinion, this surge of IPOs is there to stay. So my only advice and thought for the prospective future is that you start investing, do your research, and put in your money where you think you will get the return.
Okay. And if we talk about AI, what I feel is that AI is being implemented in almost all the sectors. So AI is not really going to replace human, but actually it is going to reduce the monotonous manual tasks which are happening, and it is going to augment human potential and creativity. Also, I feel that organizations who adapt to this are going to thrive, and they're going to surely gain the competitive advantage.
Adding on to what Meghna said, I feel that the major financial players have already started to leverage AI, especially the generative AI, and the technology is expected to facilitate personalized financial planning along with bespoke investment strategies that are based on consumer profiles and behavioral data.
So with this, we, the members of Finance Club, wrap up our discussion about the major financial development in the world. And thank you for listening.